So welcome everyone to tonight's live Zoom with moi, Renee McLaughlin, and I have over here my dear friend, Dr. Kim Caporelli, and Cheryl Canarium is here as well, but she has her camera off and she will be back on with us in just a few minutes. So tonight's Zoom is all about this lovely, this lovely Ion Shield. This is what we call an electronic mask, and it's another one of Prife International's exclusive products. And we wanted to just share some information with you about this particular product so you can make an informed decision as to if it's something that you think would benefit you. Of course, we think it would benefit everyone. And I think when you learn more about it, you'll understand why we say that. So I'm going to go just dive right in right now to our presentation. And then after that, we will be available and we're going to just share what our experience has been with the wand thus far, and then answer any questions. So interestingly enough, the Ion Shield that we're wearing, even though it is through Prife International, it is through a different company. And the company that we're getting the Ion Shields from is called MLS. MLS is a company that is over like a $2 billion company. It is a health and research company in China. And they their whole thing is doing innovative different kinds of health technologies and health products. They have been very involved in negative ion products that can help us, especially they got very involved in that through COVID and worked with a lot of respiratory therapists and experts in respiratory health to make sure that we had something that could really help us avoid a lot of the negative things happening along with COVID. So that's where we're getting it from, MLS company. And they have a regular ion. It's not a shield, but it's an ion provider. It's one that's just not portable. It just kind of sits in the room. And that was where they started with it. And then they were able to take it into something portable in this wearable shield. How cool was that? I think that's just really so innovative. So what they discovered when they did all the science and they hold all the patents, etc., on this was the Ion Shields. They do kill bacteria and viruses up to 99.9%. It reduces sediment and harmful particles 98.5%. And that's a lot. Clears the removal of harmful gases. So if you happen to be in an area that's having any kind of radon gas, it's going to remove it up to 86.10%. It helps balance, it regulates our health for longevity and helps to replenish negative ions in our environment. So when they did the studies, and here are the studies, of course, we can't read some of this because it's in Chinese, but with this regular one that can sit on a table, the coronavirus test report says it found that it did kill 99.99% of the coronavirus. That's really huge. So then they took that ion product that they had there and they said, you know, that's fine, it's in a room, but what happens is you put it in a room and you know what, the further away that you get from it, the less protection you get. So what are you going to do, carry it around the rooms with you? So while it can be very helpful in an office or whatever, they recognize the need that we all have to have a portable negative ion product that we can carry around with us. And that's how they came up with this Ion Shield Pendant. And this is what it looks like, and each of us are wearing it. You can see it will have a little light on here to show you that it's on and it's actually working. It does use electronic pulse technology. It has very little energy consumption, a mirror protection. It's stylish mini look. And it does give off 60 million negative ions per second. So it is huge and it has a really long battery life. Now, interestingly enough, it has a little, it's a magnetic charger. And I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to put this up kind of close to the camera. Let me pull my little self up. You might see that there's a little 3 dots right there. And when you get it in this little box, I'm going to show you, it comes in this beautiful little box. Let me get it into a place that you can see that. And in it is a little box like this that holds the charger. It's a USB charger, magnetic. So you just magnetize it right to those 3 dots, plug it into your computer or any USB outlet, and it charges really quickly. I mean, under an hour to charge. And it says it has 9 hours continuous use. I personally have found I can use it all day and at least 12, 13 hours, and I haven't had to recharge it. So just so you know, if you need to have it all day without recharging it, mine has found that. We can see how everybody else has found with that as well. And here is the test result with that, is showing that it does give off the 60 million negative ions 3 centimeters away from the ion emitter. So we know that it actually does do what it says it's going to do. It's also very safe without any static charges. Now, what you're going to see is it is on this chain, and it is very nice the way you can undo the chain, etc. But you do not want to change the chain because it's there to prevent you from getting static charge. So you don't want to be shocked. So it's a very nice looking chain, and you want to keep it on there. Magnetic charging with 1-click switch. Super simple. Once you charge it, when it needs to be charged and you plug it in, it turns red, and then it turns white when you know that it is already charged up. So it's really easy to use. You then take it off from the magnets, and then at the very bottom, there's this tiny little plug. You just hold it in for 2 seconds. It turns white like this, and you know it's ready to go. Talk about user-friendly and super simple. So what are some of the features of it? Well, as you can see, it's really small, it's light, has a long battery life, and it does provide those negative, really healthy ions anytime, anywhere. You just put it on and there you go. And we're going to get into a little bit more of the health benefits of negative ions, but it does neutralize free radicals. And in that, when it's neutralizing those, it does give you a continuous, just a mild aerobic exercise and negative oxygen ion exchange. So it does help with your metabolic rate. Kind of interesting with that. Improves body function. Here's a few other things. So we know that when we put it on, we call it electronic mask because it's putting all those out and around the body. So it's removing bacteria that shows up in your breathing space, any viruses, but also secondhand smoke. It removes formaldehyde. It removes any kind of bad odors that might be around you. Any allergens that might come in, different kinds of smells. Some people are really sensitive to perfume smells, etc. It can take all that away. So it is really just a complete electronic mask, just like it says. It's an antibacterial disinfectant and also helps with the sedimentation of dust. So great if you have a lot of allergies. So this is just comparing conventional, the one that sits on the desk or on a table, versus this one that you're using. Those others are bulky, they're not portable. For some of those, you do need to change filters. There's no filter exchange in this. And interestingly, also in the little box that you get along with the charger is also a little brush. And you get to just brush these little brushes at the very top just to keep it clean. The others can have a loud noise, and it's a higher price, and unable to decomposite effective substances. And with this, you can just brush it right off. So this has all the positives of the way that it's portable. Now, this is just talking about the principle of negative ion purification. So I'm just going to read this if you have any interest in how it's actually working. So it uses a built-in carbon brush system that releases the negative ions into the air. And those emitted negative ions attach to air molecules, and anything dirty in the air, it gets that negative electron charge. So these are negative ions. Those are typically positive ions, like bacteria, viruses usually have a positive charge. Negative ions will repel each other, move away from the breathing range, and it protects healthy air so that it's attracted to positive electrons, and the large particles then sink to the ground due to gravity and then don't enter the lungs. So you can kind of see how that works right here. I think this picture is really powerful. It's just showing you that you have this bubble of positive ions. Anything negative gets attached, they're large, and they fall on down. So this picture pretty much tells the whole story. Negative oxygen ions actually do exist in our natural environment, and they're really, really good for our health, which is really interesting to note. So I thought this was interesting as well. The human is made up of cells, we know that, and cell disorders are the source of diseases. So cell health also depends on the dynamic balance of positive and negative ions. Once the balance is broken, then those cells have a tendency and can develop what they call lesions, which can lead to disease throughout the body. And this was the theory of procedural cell death derived from Nobel Prize in Physiology and Medicine. Who knew? So now we know that. And Professor Wang, who was the Beijing Forestry University, said to ensure healthy body to breathe 13 billion negative oxygen ions a day. So we are definitely getting that when we have on our ion shields. So again, I was talking about negative ion concentration. Yes, they're in the environment. So whenever you go to the ocean, how you just get this nice sense of relaxation. We can feel good. And I used to think that was just because I was on vacation, usually as I was at the beach. But there's actually a physiologic effect as well from those negative ions. Also, you can see you get a lot of them when you go into the forest and in waterfalls. And I know when I'm really tense, I've been around electronics a lot. Man, there's just nothing like it when I get to go into nature, into my, I call it forests, or when I go for my hike, I just kind of get there and it's like, the weight of the world comes off. And I think there's also part of that is because of the ion concentration. So you can see where you can get a lot of these as well, but you go into an office environment and it goes down to just 40 to 50. Right? Why do we also tend to get headaches? We get tired when we're, in front of these computers all day long without any of the negative ions from there. Open suburbs is only 100 to 1,000. City parks go up a little bit. City rooms. All right. So let's talk about just the health benefits of negative oxygen ions. So I know for myself, I was excited to get it mainly because when I go out now around people, I want to have that protection against any of the viruses, bacteria, things that go on when you're around other people. But you also get the benefits simply, even when you're wearing it inside, of the negative ions. It helps with blood purification, with pH balancing. It enhances cell metabolism. We talked about that. It is antioxidant. It strengthens the immune system, can help you overcome headaches and anxiety. So I very much notice that calming effect that I get when I put it on. Prevention of arteriosclerosis, helps overcome insomnia, and helps to balance the autonomic nervous system. Again, giving you that calming feeling as it's working through. So again, you can see the Ion Shield Pendant has all those beautiful things, and there it is, a safeguard for us and for our families. So hopefully that gives you just a little bit of information about the negative ion shield. So I'm just going to share one or two of testimonials that I have heard about it already and that I found. And then I'd love to open it up for anybody that has it, kind of sharing how you feel. And then we can take some questions about it. So I was doing a live stream like this just I think it was maybe last week, and we were talking about the wand, and somebody came on, one of my clients, who had just gotten her Ion Shield, and I thought this was just amazing. She shared this story that she had gotten a horrible cold, and as she said, it was like the worst cold she had ever had, like body aches and pains, mucus. You guys get it, right? I mean, gosh, colds, just plain old cold virus can be so miserable. She went to her doctor, and I thought this was very interesting. The doctor said what he was noticing is that our cold viruses are mutating and becoming more and more nasty. I'll use that word. I don't think that was the word the doctor used, but I'm going to use the word nasty because of the coronavirus and, everything that's gone on. These viruses mutate. So she was just miserable with it, and it had been going on a long time, and she really wasn't getting better. She just got her Ion Shield. She charged it back up, put it on, and she said almost immediately she felt just a lessening of the chest congestion. So the mucus stopped just running. And she said within 3 days, she had no more cold symptoms. That was so powerful. I was kind of blown away by it. So I've seen that one. I've seen a couple of testimonials in our Facebook groups, one with a young girl who had some really bad congestion and asthma, and she put it on, and same thing, like it really went away quite quickly. Today, my daughter, who also has a propensity to asthma and a lot of colds and allergy type of things, she put it on today, and she was like, geez, Mom, you know, I swear I think I can feel it, like my lungs are opening up. She was pretty congested up in her neck. She said, I had some a little bit of swollen lymph, and I can just feel that draining, and I can feel my sinuses opening up. So we were really excited about that. It's nice to have that kind of almost immediate sensation with it. So I've been out in public on a lot of different places with it where there have been a lot of people, and knock on my hand, I feel great and have had no issues. And I just know for myself, I just love being able to have it on and feel that protection when I'm out and about with people. So that's why I'm wearing it. I don't have any other big testimonial that I noticed anything, but what I noticed was I didn't get sick, and that is huge. So who else would like to share just a testimonial or ask a question? Cheryl? How about you? I know that you've had it and you're loving yours. Yours is blue if you want to show it. I told Cheryl I was jealous of the color.
Well, we can switch when I see you next week. We'll
I
have our shields on together. Yes, mine is blue. I got it about beginning of the week, I think. And I put it on. I had this like immediate kind of weird, cool energy sensation. Can't really explain it. And it's just kind of calming. I'm very sensitive to all kinds of synthetic scents, perfumes, dust. My allergies are always crazy. I'm always sneezing. I think I've sneezed about 3 times this whole week, which is really big for me. Yeah. So even wearing it in the house, because I know how dusty my house is because of my dog and her dander and her hair. I love her to pieces, but she's a little shedding thing and has all that. So so far so good, and I feel protected when I'm out in the stores, as everyone's coughing and sneezing and getting sick, I feel like I'm Superwoman, with my cape on here, but it's my shield.
I love it. Thank you. I feel the same way. So Dan asked, what's the range of the bubble? It's supposed to be about around 3 feet around you. So it has a nice protection area around it. Yeah, so that's it. That's about what they're claiming it should be, the protection is, but definitely far enough that it's up in your breathing range. Even though this is a longer chain, it needed to be up because it kind of comes up and around this way. Price point, I didn't mention that. Price point would be interesting, huh? It's $350, and you order it the exact same way you would order your wand if you have a wand. And any of us who invited you here can help you get your Ion Shield. By the way, there's no way that I know of anyway, to ask for a specific color. You're kind of like, as Kim said earlier, it's sort of like, when you put your dime into the bubble gum machine, you're going to get out the flavor that you get. So mine came in white. I got a couple more. This one is a beautiful, like a gold color, and Cheryl's is blue. So you kind of get what you get when you order it. So just thought I'd mention that as well. Kim, if you're on, would you like to kind of come out and share your experience with it, what you're thinking?
Yes, I would. Well, I want to tell you that I love when I call this the wearable wellness technology. I think that everybody should just use those words, wellness, wearable. I mean, wearable wellness technology is such a beautiful thing to say about this, right? But I was at a huge conference this past weekend. It was huge. And I was so glad that I had this shield, right? So it was well over 4,000 people there. And I was a little bit nervous, to tell you the truth. And, but I felt that this was going to do its thing. And one of the reasons why I knew it was doing something is I usually get stuffy in conference rooms, around other people's perfumes, you know, no matter what, if they say no perfumes, people wear scented creams, their hair conditioners can have that scent. And I always get congested. I did not get congested once at this conference, and that was a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday ordeal. And so I was really excited. Another thing, of course, lots of people saw it, you know, and that was okay. That was kind of like, okay, it is a conversation piece. But I was sitting beside two airline stewardesses, and they actually have some that they wear on the plane when they fly. But they said, well, tell me about yours. Yours is so much more pretty. And so I gave them the specs, and they said, well, ours isn't even close to this. Now, these are airline stewardesses that are also naturopaths and also acupuncturists. So they knew what it was going to do. And they are also told to wear it inside their shirt. And I was wondering about that. But they can't like draw the attention to themselves with that on. And but some of them take it out of the shirt, but they still feel if their blouse is kind of loose, they're still getting the benefits. So that's something to say about it. But I think that because I had this long weekend with no stuffiness, no congestion, no mucus, and I usually get that, it is doing its thing. And I'm just so grateful that we have this technology. But I think this wearable wellness technology, if we can call that, that's just great, right? Yeah.
Oh, Kim, I love that. You know, I'm going to have to use that. But that is what it is. That's
right.
Such a beautiful thing. I love
Yeah.
that.
So mine's white too.
White too. We have the white ones.
I was kind of glad because, then I didn't have to match my outfits to my.
Very true.
Right.
Because it's all about that.
That's right. Or I didn't have to go out and buy shoes to match it. And,
Hey, listen, it's a great reason to buy shoes.
That's true.
What I have to say. Absolutely. Dan wanted to know, what is that name again? It's called an Ion Shield. Is that what you were asking? Did I catch that right? Yeah, you can unmute. It's good.
No, she was referencing it as a wearable
wellness technology.
Technology. Okay, good.
Yeah,
Thank
great.
you.
Because it's like that just captures it. I know when I first got mine too, and I put it on and I'm like, is this doing anything? So it's like silent. And so the person that I got it from, he's like, you know what? Just put it up to your ear. You can hear it. And when you do, oh, it's loud right there. It's whoop, whoop, whoop. Then you can hear it. And I'm like, oh, okay. So it is on. I did it right. It's all good. So, and people will stop you and ask, like, what is that? Because there is a little bit of light. And they do recommend not wearing it underneath. Because you want it to be free and come up and put that thing. But so I understand what they were saying, though. If you keep it like an open shirt, it's not a big deal. I know I've had mine under there when I was going to work out because it was booing up, and it was kind of funny because I could see the light through here, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird. So you want to wear it over is basically basically the thing.
What do you think about wearing it? I was just talking to them. What do you think about wearing it, the light towards your chest instead of, it would still come up straight up, correct? Whether the light was away from you or.
That's a good question. Makes sense to me, because either way, it's the ions are coming out from the top. So it doesn't matter if it's either way. And all this is, it's just kind of showing you the emitter, right? So I don't see any reason that would be a problem. Yeah. Personally.
I read something, I think must have been somebody on one of the groups, that somebody had lost their their charging cord. Oh, and do you know that you can get the same charging cord off of Amazon?
No, that's good to know. And it works. It's the same.
It looks exactly the same.
Good to know.
I think it's one of the groups. Did you see that, Cheryl?
No, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, I'll find it and then I'll I better write it down, but
Yeah,
I
I have
saw
no
it.
intention of, yeah, I have no intention of losing that cord.
Well, I don't
We
either.
never
but-
do, right? Something else that was kind of fun before we actually started this recording. Kim has the cutest little Yorkie dog, so cute, and the dog like climbs up on her thing, and just goes right into the wall, like right into the shield. Loves that shield, like you could just tell that dog loves those ions. And I always think it's interesting with the pets, right? It's sort of like they just sort of intuitively go towards something that's going to make them feel better. You can really tell. So that's great.
Oh, you know how much he loves the wand.
And the wand.
Oh
I
my
know.
gosh. He's crazy about it.
Yeah, Dan.
I'm curious about the effect that this may have for COPD clients. Whether,
Yeah,
they
could only help.
they
Right.
struggle anyway with their breathing, and some of it is asthma, some are activated by asthma as well.
Right.
Um,
I would go for it. Here's what we do know. It could not hurt. It could only help.
Right.
Right. Could only help. I mean, just because it does so many things for our health. I really wanted it for that protection, but it does so many other things too. And even just for relaxing the body, the parasympathetic, there's just so many good benefits. The antioxidant, the aerobic kind of capacity of it. So I don't see anything other than good things from it, which is nice. Yeah, thanks. Great question. Anybody else? Do any of you guys have any other questions about it?
I wonder how long the battery lasts in it. I haven't heard anything about that.
5 years is what I saw, that it has a
Wow.
lifespan of about 5 years.
Wow.
So for $350, that's a pretty darn good,
Without question, yeah.
right, exactly. Hey, Marjorie.
Hi,
Hey, girl.
I finished eating so I can show my face.
Okay, good. You have a question?
I want to try it. I want one.
All right, girl. I'll contact you in a few.
Contact me. I won't be home in the afternoon, but I'll be home tomorrow morning if you.
Okay, I'll just send you the link and we'll talk about it. No problem.
Okay.
Good deal. Thanks, honey. And look, you're looking better. Yay.
Yeah, I just came from the emergency room.
Oh. All right, well, we'll talk.
I was breathing there. I came home and ate dinner and now my nose is all stuffed up again.
Oh, okay. Well,
So
you know what?
maybe-
This is going to be so good because maybe it'll help you with
That's what
things that
I'm
are happening in your
hoping
environment.
for.
Good deal. All right, we'll get you one. And the nice thing is, you guys, we do have these when I say we do have suppliers that have the wand, the shields right now. Classics are, we're going to take a good 3 to 4 weeks, but we do have shields. So if somebody wants them, we can get them to you really quickly.
Good. Yesterday would have been great.
Well, listen, we'll get it to you soon. Just as soon
Maybe I
as we
wouldn't have
can.
been in the emergency today.
Girl, I know you struggled. You struggled. And Rob put on his glasses and took them back off. All right. All right, you guys. Well, if nobody has anything else to share, there he goes. Thank you for that. I'm going to turn this recording off and thank you all so much for coming on and listening and learning a little bit about our Ion Shield product.